This is Dolynny TV. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel. But more importantly, welcome to 2021 content on Dolynny TV. It's my pleasure to once again join you for another year of Edmonton Oilers hockey. Camp opens on Sunday. We expect to see the roster probably about here in an hour or so's time, around noon Mountain Time is when I'd be expecting to see the Oilers roster. Maybe they'll leave it wide open till tomorrow. Who quite very well knows? Not me. Ken Holland does. I can tell you that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, he's making a list, checking it twice. Oh, that Tyson Dolynny. He's got the goodies for the 2021 season. And what I mean by that is last year we did something very fun, right? Last year we did 10 bold predictions for the Oilers in the 2019-2020 season, and I actually hit, I think, on like 5 or 6 of them. And I left some vague. That's the problem. I left some vague. So this year we're going to point it, throwing names right in every bullet, and having a lot of fun with what could potentially be a lot of fun this season. So these bold predictions, these are not necessarily quote unquote what I think will happen. These are just throwing things at the wall, throwing mud at the wall and hoping it sticks, right? This serves no other purpose but to come up with some crazy listicle items and say, you know what, here's 10 things that could possibly happen this year. Let's see if they happen. And I mean, these are educated guesses. Yes, I'm not going to sit here and say I just threw together 10 random things on a list and said, oh yeah, that sounds good. No, I actually wrote down a point, deleted the next one, rewrote it, went to point number 3, deleted that one, rewrote it, right? So there was some thought that went into this. And the fun part is we'll start off with number 1. This one I think is literally just to get you guys commenting how wrong I'm going to be on this. But this one is also one that is the maximum chaos, and that's obviously why I'm saying what I just said, is Jujhar Khaira will not be traded. You look at the role Jujhar Khaira has with the Oilers, and you look at the salary cap. 1 and 2, and it goes either way. I'm not sitting here saying he won't be traded 100%. That's not what I'm saying. This is just a bold prediction that kind of goes along that theory of, you know what, we all expect something to happen here with Khaira, and I expect the least exciting option to happen, that being he stays right here in Edmonton. Does he have a good year, bad year? Beyond me. I thought he was going to have a good year last year, so I'm not going to sit here and get too excited about the fact that I have him staying in Edmonton, because straight up, I don't want to get excited again about a guy letting me down. Now, this one I really feel is a possibility depending on how the Canadian division plays out. If every team decides to play defense, interesting theory. If everybody decides to play offense and Mikko Koskinen has a good year, not so hard of an ask. Mikko Koskinen will finish 10th or better in Vezina voting. Last year, I said Mikko Koskinen will have a better than 9-10 save percentage, all right? That was on this bold predictions list from last year. In fact, you know what? To just reference it, I'm going to bring it up here for a moment. Let me add an image source, and I hopefully still have the file here. So stick with me. I'm going to stammer my way through this, but we'll see if I can't find my bold predictions from, of course, last season. So bold predictions. See if I can't find something here. I'm going to go into all my files. Apparently it's not in that file. Okay, that doesn't work. Dang, I wonder where it is. That's the only problem. I wonder where it is. So let me see if I can't find it elsewhere, and it looks like that is not going to be there. So I wonder if I kept it. That's the only problem, and I don't think I have it in my document anymore, as I got rid of it, unless it's here. And let me see where we have anything. That's all old thumbnails from seasons gone by that I really need to delete. My goodness, what am I doing with all those thumbnails? Flames September 10th. That's the training camp roster for them. And yeah, no, there's I don't know where it is. That's unfortunate, because I thought I had kept it, but it appears I did not, and that really sucks, because that would have been nice to have for sure. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, back to the topic, right? I tried to find the old list to reference. It's not going to work. So I did have 9-10 save percentage or better. You can go find the video. I'll link the video in the comments for you to go check out last year's. How about that? I do have a list somewhere. I keep everything up on YouTube. The Oilers win 30 or more games this season. That does not seem like a hard ask. Most of us, that is an expectation. Now, for anyone in Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, Montreal, Winnipeg, Ottawa, they're sitting here saying we're going to finish in 6th, which means we're going to be below 500, which is not very likely. And of course, below 500 is below 30 wins. Anyway, let's move on. Darnell Nurse. This is a fun one. Darnell Nurse was very around that even mark this year. I think in an expanded role. How about this? An educated guess. Darnell Nurse ends the season as a plus player. Now, an educated guess, that is still a very bold prediction. And I look forward to kind of following the evolution, right? Obviously, past couple years, my Nurse fan card has been turned in because of what he's kind of turned out to be. But we'll see what Darnell Nurse delivers for us. And a bold prediction would be to have him filling in Klefbom's spot as a plus player 5-on-5. Now, the one thing that is almost a foregone conclusion, at some point this year, the Oilers will be running a goaltending set that does not feature one of Mikko Koskinen or Mike Smith. That just straight up, that's more than likely the scenario. Okay, I can play it up anymore. I don't have to. That means Anton Forsberg, Stuart Skinner will be relied upon at some point this season for the Edmonton Oilers. So that said, at some point this season, after sitting on the bench last year, a bold prediction is, yes, even with Anton Forsberg in the organization, the Edmonton Oilers will see Stuart Skinner make his NHL debut. It's been a long time coming. I believe he's 21, 22 now. So it is going to be exciting to see what this young goalie that was highly touted when we picked him comes across to be at his NHL debut sometime in 2021. Now, Leon Draisaitl. Oh, we haven't talked about him. We've gone 5 predictions without talking about Leon Draisaitl. Well, Leon Draisaitl tops Connor McDavid in scoring again. This one, not maybe as bold as it might have been last year, right? Last year, this would have been very bold to say Draisaitl would top Connor McDavid in overall points, but this year, not as bold, but still a bold prediction, I think, because does it happen 2 years in a row now that Connor McDavid is fully healthy? That's the question I'm asking you, and that's the fun part. That's why it's a bold prediction to me. Leon Draisaitl tops Connor McDavid in scoring once again. But that said, Connor McDavid's not going to have a bad year. Like, you could easily have 30 goals, 55 assists, and go out there and be beaten by Draisaitl by 2 points. I'm not talking it's going to be the margin it was last year. I'm talking it could be a point or 2 or 3, and that very well goes a long distance for the Edmonton Oilers and those potential 30-plus wins this season, right? There you go. Anyway, Connor McDavid scores 30 goals. That is prediction number 7. Bold prediction number 7, might I add. And again, well, we had Connor McDavid scoring a bunch of goals last year. Unfortunately, well, he spent a little time injured at one point, and you know what? Didn't pan out as well as it could have. But for Connor McDavid, I'm looking forward to him just shooting the puck a little bit more. You know what? Playing with good players that can also feed him the puck could very well be an improvement for Connor McDavid. I mean, 9 games against Morgan Riley, that should result in about 12 goals right there. Yeah? And that's not a bold prediction. That's accurate facts. Anyway, Ryan Nugent Hopkins. We haven't talked about him. Point number 8. Ryan Nugent Hopkins finishes with more points than Elias Pedersen, and can I add, to secure the fact that he is the number 1 left winger on a North Division team. Kyle Connor, you know what? He's going to have a good year. Not kidding you. But Kyle Connor is not going to play the penalty kill time. He's not going to do the little things right that Ryan Nugent Hopkins does. He's not going to become the all-around player that Ryan Nugent Hopkins is. Therefore, Leon Draisaitl, best player in the North Division on the left wing. And don't forget, Elias Pedersen is a left winger based on how many face-offs he takes. Shift him to the middle on the ice all you want. That does not make him a center to me. If you can't handle the full duties of a center, you're not a full center. And that's why everybody now regards Ryan Nugent Hopkins as a winger, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Okay, settled. But when it comes to Elias Pedersen, who we'll see 10 times this year, Ryan Nugent Hopkins will outdo him. And again, similar to Draisaitl McDavid, I'm not talking 15, 20, 25 points on the year. I'm talking Ryan Nugent Hopkins will outdo Pedersen maybe by a point or two. But it's a bold prediction that Nuge will do it because Pedersen more than likely will be better than point per game this year. So Nuge is really going to have to break through yet again if he wants to come through on that bold prediction. Now, Chris Russell. This is a name. Well, why is this name on the list? Because Chris Russell kind of fading out into black, I guess, to use a film term, is a big key piece of this Edmonton Oilers transition on the defense in 2021, right? Obviously now the emergence of Caleb Jones, Ethan Bear as primary features on the Oilers blue line. Evan Bouchard will be coming into the Oilers lineup at times this year. You've got kind of a new crew of getting it done, and that will mean, to my idea of an educated guess for a bold prediction, Chris Russell will play less than 25 games this year. Now, it's probably going to be a combination of injury and guys getting in the lineup over him. That's fair. I'm not sitting here saying he's just straight up not going to play because the Oilers don't want to play him. He very well could be going out there, blocking a shot, laying it down on the line, saving a goal, break his leg, and be out for 40 games this year. You want to ask me how I'm not looking at this being foolproof? That's how it's foolproof, is the fact that Chris Russell, whether it be injury, whether it be replacement, he will not play 25 games this season. That is a bold prediction for you because Chris Russell is a very serviceable defenseman still and very easily could play 45, 50 games for the Edmonton Oilers on the left side if there's an injury somewhere else. Straight up, right? And now, this one's fun depending on how you sit after our video yesterday talking about the Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, Kazian top line more than likely. That meant Cahoon played with Draisaitl and Yamamoto in that scenario. Well, you know what? Here we go. Let's have a little bit of fun with this one. If Dominic Cahoon has a good year, he's going to outdo Kyler Yamamoto. That's the bold prediction to round it out. Number 10, Dominic Cahoon will have more points at the end of the season than Kyler Yamamoto. Now, not necessarily something completely unexpected, right? Just for reference, right? Kyler Yamamoto came in, had 26 points in 27 games, dang near point per game. Just did that Nuge point per game thing where it's 95.8 kind of deal. But the thing is, right there is I see Yamamoto still having a good year, but that connection with Draisaitl for Dominic Cahoon could result in some very good things. But that's why it's a bold prediction, because you're predicting, I am at least, a sub $1 million cap hit player will come into the lineup and outdo Kyler Yamamoto from this year. That, as an Oilers fan, a little tough to swallow, but it's a bold prediction nonetheless. And ladies and gentlemen, as with last year, we've run on a long time, but I hope you've enjoyed the opening video for 2021. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Those were my 10 bold predictions for the Oilers in the 2021 NHL season. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll chat a little bit later on today. Like I said, training camp roster probably coming out at noon, so we'll have all full coverage of that as soon as it drops.